calling in. So, Dave Hester, what's up?
Yep.
Yep. I mean, hi.
Yep. What's up?
We were looking forward to talking to you, Dave, because my co-host Gremlina always just yips, and I told her I had to give her a run for the money bringing you on today.
Okay.
But how's everything been, Dave? How you doing?
It's all right. I've been at auctions all day, actually, and apparently we got our times a little mixed up here, but I'm here ready, willing, and able. What can I do for you?
Well, we do have some questions. Of course, starting off, what's your favorite part about going through storage lockers?
My favorite part about going to storage lockers is buying a good unit and making some money.
And that leads into my next two-part question. I want to know, what is the most you've paid for a unit, and did you make a substantial profit on it? And what's the most you've lost on a unit?
Probably the most I've ever paid for a deal was about $23,000, and we made a fantastic profit on it. And, the most I've ever lost, I don't lose too much anymore. Earlier in my career, the first 5 years, I probably took some losses, but what I buy today, I generally can always break even on, or at least make some kind of profit on it.
Yeah, the episodes I've seen, you seem to do pretty good.
Yeah, I know. I kind of know which ones to stay away from and which ones to buy, and when you've seen the picture 10,000 times, it doesn't take long to figure out, what's going to happen and if they're profitable. And you only have to get dirt rubbed in your face so many times before you quit buying, dirty, crappy rooms.
Cool.
That's for the new people to make the mistakes on.
Cool.
Now, kind of going into that, wrestling, we talk about feuds all the time. There's always feuds happening in wrestling. Well, a feud that a lot of people see on the show is, of course, between you and Jared. And, if you guys were to face off in a wrestling match, do you think you could take him?
Oh, no problem. I'd get my buddy Chavo to give me some training, and then I'd have to whip his butt with no problem. I'd have to give him a little education on what the fat old man's capable of doing.
And that leads me to my question. You grew up with the Guerrero wrestling family, a legendary wrestling family. Describe your relationship with Eddie and Chavo Guerrero.
Well, Chavo used to work with my brother, and we became friends, and we're still friends, and we just talked on the phone just a few days ago, and we get together, as often as we can, have a couple cold beers. Eddie, I got to meet 3 or 4 times when he would be in town. We'd hang out and have some dinner and stuff. And Chavo's father, I used to do a lot of beer drinking with because we would hang out at the same pub. So Chavo Sr., we put down a lot of beers together, and then Chavo that's wrestling now would come and hang out at the house a lot, and when we were single, we would run around and party and chase women and do the things that young single men do.
Sounds cool to me.
Yeah, so they're pretty good guys. I consider them one of my closest friends and oldest friends, and, they're just good people.
Well, what was your favorite item that you bought in a locker?
My favorite item would be obviously have to be the item that made me the most amount of money, which is I bought a deal for $750, and I ended up having a $155,000 painting in it. And anytime
I just saw a clip of that the other day.
Yeah, and it's actually on my website. It was a California impressionist called Jack Wilkinson Smith, and he was the artist, and it was titled The Golden Pool. I sold it for $155 to a gallery in Melrose, and then they had a $350,000 price tag on it. Don't know what they sold it for, but I'm sure they made a profit on it also.
Ow!
So there's good ones out there, and a lot of people think that you can just come out overnight and hit the jackpot, and you can. but for the most part, it's hard work, and it's almost like you relate it to your wrestling fans and your wrestling people that you interview. They don't just doesn't happen overnight. It's usually a long, drawn-out process to become successful and become one of the best.
Exactly.
Well, and my final question before I pass it over to Gremlina, what does 2011 hold for Dave Hester?
2011, we're just hoping that we're out there. We're in a tough economy, and we're getting a lot of recognition. So I'm just hoping that the show and the ratings continue to grow. They're exploding right now and becoming very popular, and we're becoming in demand. So we just want to get as much exposure as we can and keep hitting those good rooms.
I have 2 good rooms. No, I'm kidding. I've been trying to get my husband to sell our storage shed because he's a Star Wars memorabilia collector, and he started in 1978. And we've got like several thousand action figures, ships, etc. from 278 to 2006 when he stopped collecting. So I'm trying to unload that. No, I'm kidding.
Well, the best way to do that is just to hide the bill from them and then let me know where it's at, and I'll show up and buy it at the auction.
Really? To hide the bill and you'll show up and buy it at the auction? That's
exactly.
Sneaky. That's sneaky.
We'd come
I
out
can
and buy it.
appreciate
Yeah.
that. Okay,
There's a lot of,
finally,
I would suggest if you have storage units and you're paying a lot of rent on it, sometimes the better thing to do is to just sell the product off. Get on eBay and sell those items.
In all seriously, we're trying to sell the collection.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that have a lot of interest in Star Wars. It's very popular. You could send me an email on your inventory, and based on what you have, I could do an auction for you. I'm a licensed auctioneer, have been for 20 years, and
I'll have to tell my husband that and get Ian. Just PM me his email, and we'll do that. But my final serious question was: describe your relationship with Dan and Laura Dotson.
Dan and Laura Dotson are very good people. We go back a long ways. If it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't be on the show. Dan is one of the people I believe that got the show started. He was YouTubing a lot of his auctions that were taking place for a couple years prior to getting picked up by Original Productions, who were with, and obviously with A&E. And when they came out to meet him, he introduced them to me and said that you would definitely want to have this person on the show because he is the real deal. So I'm glad I have the opportunity and was blessed to be put in that position and be part of the show.
It is a really cool show. I've been watching it, and I have to say some of the stuff y'all find is quite interesting.
It's definitely. I think it's America's next poker craze, and the good thing about our business is that you don't have to be rich to do this. You just have to be willing to work hard. You can start this with $500. You can start this with $5,000 or $50,000. You can play the $1, $2 table. You can play the no limit table. There's guys spending $200 and $300 on rooms and making $1,000 on them, and you rally that and you just keep going. But this is not a business for the soft-hearted or the weak. It's a tough, competitive thing, and there's really there's no friends in this business. Once you get in the gate, it's all about let the best man win, and that's what it's about.
Sort of like the wrestling ring. And finally, I've been barraged. What is the oddest or weirdest thing you've ever found in a storage locker?
Well, I can tell you that it happened about a month ago, and it's going to be filmed in the next month or so. You'll be seeing it on our show. I can't talk about it. I can't talk about it, but in detail what it is. But it's definitely going to be quite creepy. I wouldn't say creepy. Very educational and different and it would definitely spook you if you ran into it.
Sweet. Can't wait for that episode. Ian, it's all yours, my friend.
Well, I just wanted to end this here, another great show, kicking off 3 years of doing our show. So, Dave, thanks a lot for coming on today.
I appreciate it. And the final word is yep, because the mogul so.